Hi, it's Terry. I have been maintaining 180-pound weight loss with low carb, low calorie, meat focused eating since August of 2022. Look at that face. She's been over there while I've been cooking, and she's like, you could give me a bite of them eggs, you stingy old lady. That's what she's thinking. She's a very good girl, except for when she's outside telling the family business. She's a good girl. She helped me raise that stinker boy Baxter, that's for sure. Good morning. It's breakfast time. I haven't done my makeup or anything for church yet. Woke up a little after 5, about 5:45. I'm ready for time change. It seems like me and the dogs are on the other time. I don't know which time frame we're in. Ziggy, what time zone are we in? I know I'm Central Time. Ziggy, is this daylight savings time or standard time?
From AppleInsider.com. No, we are in daylight savings time now. The switch to standard time is next weekend.
Okay, so next weekend, that is my time, man. I'll tell you, let me just tell you. Well, first and foremost, I got 5 eggs, and I cooked them with some, what did I use? The avocado oil. Okay, I got to remember to tell you. Let me just tell you about it while I'm thinking about it, and then I'll forget whatever else. I painted my nails this morning because I woke up so dadgum early. And all I do, this is how I do them. I take my glasses off, and I take my tweezers. Don't ask why tweezers. And I I take off the polish, and then I scrape off the old polish in the corner and kind of scrape off that little overgrowth on the nail. And then I get my cuticle nippers and clean around them. And then I do a base coat, and then 2 colors, and then a top coat, or 2 color coats. Anyway, and every time I do my nails, I always do something. Like this time. And thankfully this polish is like shiny, so it's not super noticeable. But right there, that spot, I just bumped it on it's been drying 15 minutes, but I bumped it on the handle of my pancake turner. All right, time frame. So, used to, when I was eating junk, I shouldn't even call it the standard American diet because it was just junk. Burger King every day, shakes, fries, all that stuff. All that bread, pizzas, all that junk every day. Well, when I was eating that, I could sleep all day and all night. I was just lethargic and groggy all the time, couldn't think clearly. Then along comes keto. And I guess about maybe like at the end of the first year maybe, I couldn't sleep. On the summer, you know how sun comes up at like 5 in the morning? My brain was like, "Ooh, sun's up. Let's go do stuff. Wake up, wake up, wake up." Well, that was my first experience, and it never went away. Now, it's the same thing. Even if the sun ain't up. Because all winter, sun wasn't up, but my brain's like, "Woo, let's get up." And it started because, after we went to daylight savings time, of course the dogs wake up, they're hungry. It's the same time they usually eat. So they'd wake me up, and stupid dogs, go to bed. Anyway, and then that's just never changed. They would wake me up somewhat. But then, even if they sleep in, I'm usually awake before my alarm goes off at 6. Not every day. More days than not. So it's like, man, it's aggravating. So I guess I do better on the standard time. I think that's what she just said is coming up, standard time. My brain I just wake up better in standard time. I don't wake up too early then. I don't think I do. If I start waking up at 4 o'clock, I'm going to be mad. Slept good last night. Had a little bit of pain at like for about 5 minutes when I was laying down, but it went away, and then I slept good. I've been writing things down. And what I had yesterday when I slept good was this for supper was the same as I had 2 nights ago when I didn't sleep good. So it's definitely not diet related. I don't know what it is related, but it doesn't seem to matter what I eat for supper. So anyway, I'm gonna eat my eggs. I'm going to go to Judy's today after church. But no pimento cheese or carrots. Not this week or next week. So our church is doing this 21 days of fasting. It's not for Lent. For a different event. So, because Mom was like, well, honey, why do you keep saying 21 days? That's not till Easter. I'm like, no, we do it for a different reason. It has nothing to do with Lent. It's for an event that they're hosting. So, anyway, so I'm not going to count today, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 7 more days. And next weekend, I got to go grocery shopping. Y'all, I had to go back to my old videos to see what I was eating. I remember salads. Oh, I pulled down my salad things. I'll make new ones. But I knew, of course I made the salads. I remember those. But, like, I just couldn't remember all the things that I was eating. I remember salads and the, by the way, that's Camel. Okay, I guess he's satisfied now. Yes, that table's a mess. This house is lived in. Anyway, and I remember the vegetables at supper, along with the meat. I had about a month's worth of squash made up. I have squash soup. I have butternut squash roasted. It's all made up. I won't have to meal prep my supper veg for a month. But that's all right. I just have it sitting over in my deep freezer. And then, I guess next weekend, I'm going to have to remind myself to pull some out. Maybe Friday night, Thursday night. So that way I can, and then I'll have to put them over into my working freezer. They'll work, but I just mean that one is my storage freezer. Listen, I bought that freezer, one of them freezers, when I bought a quarter cow. And the other one, no, I brought it up from the basement. When I was feeding, hang on. Let me give these dogs their treat. Hang on. I had a dog that she had allergies, and so years and years ago when I lived in Jackson, there was a in Scott City there was like a slaughterhouse, and you could get free tongue, free heart, free liver, free rib bones. You can get all this stuff for free. And so I would go and get a bunch of stuff, and I'd store it in the freezer. And because she was on a raw meat diet, which I'd love to do all my dogs on that, but with 4 dogs you can't do that. You can't. And back then you could buy a big old pork butt for 99 cents a pound. So it was a different life back then. And at that time, that was considered cheap. So Anyway, so yeah, so I bought my first freezer way back then. And then the second one, I think I got it about when I bought that quarter of a cow while I was carnivore. But I think I got it from, first one I got from Walmart. I think the other one, I don't remember if I got it from Walmart or Sam's, but it ain't a super fancy one or anything like that. So don't be getting all, oh, you bougie. I may be bougie a little bit, but I ain't bougie on the freezers. I bought cheapy ones. Anyway, boy, that was a tirade rant, wasn't it? Or a little detour. Let's bring it on back around, Terri Toodaloo. Let's bring it back around. So yeah, so I've got all my squash and stuff in that freezer. So I'll bring it back over into my stand-up freezer. And yeah, I guess that's everything. So, all right, well, I just got to shut up because we are going to have church after church. So, okay, bye. By the way, I'm excited. I get to go to church because I get to see my church family. It's been so long. It feels like it's been years, but I think it's been a couple weeks. So, anyway, all right, bye. My mama is ready for spring. Look. She's so cute. She's got a little Easter basket, and she's got a precious. Hang on, let me turn this light on here. Got the little angel sitting in front of Jesus' tomb. Let me see. It says, "He is not here, for he has risen as he said." Matthew, I can't read that far. 28 something. Anyway, so she's got a little precious moment. She sets her little precious moments out based on the season. So she's got her little eggs and a little spring thing, and she's got her little Easter bunnies, and that's like put your deviled eggs if you're gonna go somewhere. And she's got a couple little Easter bunnies in here, little spring bunnies I should call them. A couple little bunnies. Let's see what else she's done. Let's check out the other rooms. I don't think anything in here is different for spring over there. No, but she did put out this little precious moment. She's got a little chicken and eggs. And there's spring, so she's got out her spring stuff. Let's see. Let's go see if there's anything else down in the other rooms. I don't think so, but... So I told y'all when my sister... Oh, yeah, she did. I told y'all when my sisters were here, for Christmas, she wanted us to redo this room, so we three of us got together and got some things, and we redid this bathroom and not painted or anything, but just hung up stuff. But anyway, oh, and look, this is the outfit of the day. This is a new outfit that I didn't, well, not new. I bought this for a women's church event. Anyway, so, but look, she's got these little chicken and Easter bunny towels. So this is something we did not buy. But she got this. I think that's funny. Please seat yourself. So yeah, so we redid this room for her for Christmas. And that basket. Anyway, let's see if she did anything else. I doubt she did anything else springy in her bedroom because I don't think people go in her bedroom. Let's see. But you never know with Mom. Nope, I don't see anything springy. I don't see anything springy. So, but she does have that. But that's always over her bed. So funny. She sleeps on one half of the bed. She alternates. So she'll do 6 months. I think like 6 months on one side and 6 months on the other. Or however frequency she does it. But she goes from one side for so long and then the other side. So she rotates the side that she sleeps on. She's so funny. Little old people are funny. I'm so funny. I say little old people are funny. But you know what? Single people are funny too, because we get set in our ways and we don't want anybody to mess with our stuff. All right, so let's break down church today. He said, I know nobody woke up this morning and said, boy, I hope pastor preaches on this subject. He said, this is not something that people like to come to church and hear preach to them. He said, but we're going to talk about it anyway. So our church is having this 21 days of fasting, and so, giving up something, but it's not for Lent. It's for this Make a Difference Sunday. And they have once a year, sometimes the churches will say, oh, we got this mission coming up, we really need you to give, or oh, we got this thing going on, we really need you to give. They just have this once a year event, and they just ask people, to make a, commitment to give either a dollar amount or so much each month, and whatever it's going to be. And then everybody has to turn this in. I thought, yeah, so we turned the paper in next week for what we're going to give, and then the following Sunday, then they tally up the total amounts. So it's you can commit to give a total certain amount, or a weekly amount, or a monthly amount. That's on top of how much we're going to give. So anyway, so once a year they just do this, they call it Make a Difference Sunday. And so right now they're talking about, giving and generosity and tithing and those kinds of things. And but this is on top of tithing. And so he said, nobody come to church this morning hoping that I would talk about tithing, but here we are. So he talked about how, right now, Acts is our focus. And he said that in Acts, they talk about how the disciples position themselves, the Holy Spirit, to tell them to go. And that's what we're working on, with our service of Ready, Set, Go. He did talk about, I don't know if I wrote it, I didn't write it all down, but the MAD money goes towards, they give to various, like satellite churches, like in other countries. They have a couple satellite churches, I think he said, or online churches that they are, giving to. Some local issues that are local things that they're trying to help with. And then our church itself. So, because they said we've grown 200 people since Christmas. Every Sunday, we're up 200 people live in the church since Christmas. So along with 200 more people, they need parking space. They need more people to, to pass out the jobbers that Sunday. It was Communion Sunday, and so they need more people to work in nursery. So there's more things that they need in order to support a growing church. So he talked about those kind of things, and so he talks about how it's not just that we need to give our finances, it's we need to give of ourselves to our church to help the church help other people. So that was kind of the theme of what he's talking about. He says, God can take our little and make it a lot. All the glory goes to God. He said, we at CPC joyfully give of ourselves because generosity matters. We are not forced to give of ourselves. It's a choice. He said, this isn't political. He's like, but socialism is a forced thing of giving. He said, but as Christians, we give because our heart tells us to give. Whatever it is we give, it's because of our heart, not because we give because we're commanded by, the world to give. We give because as Christians, we want to give. He said, socialism is forced. Christian generosity is a want. God blesses us so we can bless others. So, prime example, God has blessed me on this journey of weight loss. And because of that, I've been able to share my journey with you all. He, for whatever reason, obviously we know the reason, but God, I was not thinking that this was going to be the time that I was going to lose weight. I just like, well, here goes again. Let's see what happens. But God told me, obviously, he said, Terri, make a channel and share your story with people so other people can learn from your journey and learn from your mistakes or see how you're going to do things. And lo and behold, here we are, so God blesses us so we can bless others. Through generosity, people believed. So in the New Testament, he said that back then people weren't very generous. They weren't selling their lands and selling their property and giving to the churches in the way that the Christians did. And so because of that generosity, people were like, well, these Christians are weird. I mean, you got to think New Testament, these Christians are weird. What are they doing? But because they were so generous, people really wanted to listen to them. And listen, I'm taking my sweater off. It ain't going to be pretty, but you're not going to see my bat wings. So I'm hot. Mama's house gets hot sometimes. Anyway, so, and it's short sleeved. I mean, but it is. Anyway, it's one of those sleeveless things that, I don't wear out in public. Anyway, but he said that by the disciples living generously, the other people didn't understand. So then they were able to share Jesus through their generosity. Generosity should be a joyful act of worship because God made it available. In Leviticus and Proverbs, they talk about giving and tithing. And he said, we don't give to get. He said, like some pastors online will say, give $1,000 and God will bless you with $10,000. He said, that's not really how it works. He said, you give and God will bless us, but not necessarily financially and not necessarily, It may not be necessarily financially, and it may not be in a way that we see, but in turn, we may be blessing others. And so, God will bless us in a different way. So it may not be if I give $100 to church, it doesn't mean I'm going to get $1,000 back. That's just not how it all works. So in the New Testament, in Hebrews 7, verse 1 to 13, he was talking about how, some people say, oh, tithing's just in the Old Testament, but he talks about Hebrews. So in the New Testament, they talk about it as well. All our blessings come from the Lord, and living generously defeats the bondage of materialism. Man, I got a big problem with materialism. So what I've started doing is when one of you guys tell me about something cool, or if I see something on TikTok or Facebook or YouTube, if I see somebody who's promoting something, I'm like, oh, that looks really cool. And I shift it into my shopping cart. Like on Amazon, I put it in the cart. I don't open it and swipe buy now anymore. I force myself to put it in that shopping cart, because then 2-3 weeks later, as I'm looking in there, if I'm buying something, I'll be like, did you really need that? No, you did not. So it kind of helps you, giving, it kind of helps you, living generously defeats the bondage of materialism. What we don't master, what I don't master is going to master me. So they're actually going to be giving a course of that Dave Ramsey, he has a financial peace course. I've done it in the past. Didn't do so good, but anyway, I had it in the past. But anyway, and so he says, like, so if we don't master our money, our money's going to master us. So example, money and things. So if I don't master my TikTok use will master me. If I don't master if I had an addiction to whatever, my food. If I don't master my addiction to food, my food addiction is going to master me. So those are some examples. Then it goes to number 3. Living generously looks like Jesus, because Jesus, he gave how generous is it to give your life so that we can be with Jesus? You don't get much more generous than that. I love y'all, but I don't think I could jump in front of a bullet for you guys. And he literally did. He jumped in front of a life only worse than, stronger than a bullet. He died on the cross so he could pull us from the fiery pits of hell. I don't know what hell really looks like, but that's the way a lot of times we describe it. But anyway, he literally saved us from having a life without God. Let's see. And then he said Jesus does not judge us by the amount we give, but by the attitude. Because he talked about the woman, all these rich people were going in and giving large amounts of money to the church and to the temple. And there's that one lady who walked in with 2 little tiny coins, and she gave him, and he kind of elbowed his disciples. As I look, they gave a lot, but she gave everything. And so, it's not a matter of do you give 10%, you give 50%, you give 2%. God looks at your heart and says, okay, you gave this out of your good, you wanted to give me 10% or 15% or 5%, and he knows our finances. He knows what we can afford. So God doesn't judge us from how much we give. As long as but what we all have to do our part so that God and God will get the glory. So by us, for my church, let's just point out my church. If each of us gives something, we all are putting into the church pot. But then the pot is going to allow them to go out to that small county, Marble Hill, and drop a bunch of little plastic Easter eggs for the kids to get candy. Our giving to the church is going to help them build a church out in Marble Hill. It's going to help them with their plant churches. I want to say Belarus or somewhere. And in those other countries, it's going to help, build a parking lot so more people can come to our church. So we give so that the church can then give God's glory and share God's glory to everyone. The big takeaway is through our generosity, God allows us to partner in his kingdom work. So for those of us at the church who are giving, then we're able to say, we're able to be a part of bringing people to God and helping them be comfortable with not having to walk from across the street or something, So, so that was church today. It's not everybody's favorite topic. Giving, whether, like I said, giving of your finances, giving of your time, giving of your heart, giving by bringing people to church. It's all has to do with giving ourselves to God. So that's what it was about today. Okay, I'll see you. Mom and I are going to lunch. I plan on getting that pork steak. And, I might get cottage cheese. I think that's kind of a carnivore thing. Maybe I'll get cottage cheese as a side, and then Mom can have the other side. That's what I'll do. All right, bye. Let me tell you, do you know how hard it was not to get into her fruit? But it ain't what I'm doing. But I'm getting into her cheese. So I'm going to take a piece of this white cheese and a piece of this yellow cheese. I don't know what it is. Let's see. Smoked something. Smoked cheddar maybe? I don't know. I think cheese is always good. I don't know if I've ever tried a cheese I didn't like. That's good. Let's try this one. I think that's smoked cheddar. I don't know. Anyway, it's good, so I better have one more than white one. I won't take the orange one because she don't have very many. She worked so hard to get these sliced up. I don't want her to feel like nobody appreciates her hard work. Look at that. They're also even. Now you know where I get my OCD from. Okay, bye. And there is my lunch. Look at that nice big old pork steak and my cottage cheese. That's my Mom's friend was sitting beside me, so I couldn't really talk, but that's that big old pork steak. Hang on. See? It's as big as my hand, and you can see how thick it is. And then I got my cottage cheese, so that's what I'm having for my lunch. In my cottage cheese, I have my pineapple mango. So it's like a dessert. How funny. So I'm leaving Mom's house. This little boy lives about 4 houses down, is walking around with these eggs. And Mom said, "Are you selling chicken eggs?" He said, "Yeah, we have 5 chickens." So I said, "I'll buy some." Mom didn't need them. So I bought me a dozen, and y'all said pasture raised. These are backyard raised eggs. So these are going to be some good, real eggs. So we'll do a comparison. Bye. Ooh, Lordy, my calories are going to be up again today. But it'll be all right because we got, I'm going to microwave this. I'm going to cook up these eggs. I'm plugging them in as medium eggs. Look, that's what they look like. He said, "Now, there's an egg, and it's got brown speckles. It's not poop." He was just the cutest little boy. So it's a good thing I don't live in that neighborhood. It's my mama's neighborhood. He'd be knocking on my door. I'd be like, okay. He was just so cute. I'll buy whatever you're selling, little boy. Anyway, so I'm going to fry these 4 eggs up and microwave my pork, and we'll get to eating 2,300 calories today. Whew, doggies. And that's probably on the low side considering how big that pork steak was. But anyway, so that's all right. We don't care. I want to show you how they look while they're cooking. That's the eggs, or that's the yolk. Look how pretty that yolk is. Boy, that's some orange yolk. But I don't know what kind of chicken he had, but they have. But he was just a dadgum cute walking around selling his little eggs to the neighborhood. All right, I'm going to get these fried up and I'll be back. All right, so by the way, I had some G. Hughes barbecue sauce, a couple different flavors, and we got to put some Little Richard on here. Where's my Richard? There he is. There's my little Richard. My little Richard, he's got good flavor. I put this on this stuff all the time. I love the taste of smoked paprika and I don't know, all the flavors that are in that. It's really good. It's good with this barbecue-y flavor. All right, now let's take a bite. So it's been a good day. I hung out with Mom. And we talked, and I crocheted after church. Well, we went to church, or I went to church, and she went to her church. And then, Callie and Sam here playing. And then we went to eat, and you saw what I ate. And, good girl. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. These almost taste like buttery without the butter. You all are not wrong. There's something different about them. I can't put my finger on it, but these are good. These are real good. I can't say what's different. There's just something different. I don't know what it is. I'm going to save the rest of that for dessert. That's what I've been doing. Yeah, let's see if this is too hot to try. Oh, anyway, so Mom and I went out to eat while it's steaming. We went out to eat and then went home and just chit-chatted, had some girl talk. And then I come home, I fed the wild things, and now I'm feeding this wild thing. I got to the hospital at 8:30 in the morning. That gallbladder scan. Moving forward. So Mom will be there with me. Because you know I'm like codependent on my mama. So, yeah. So anyway, so my mama's my BFF and she's going to go with me. So anyway, so I'm going to go do that in the morning. And then we'll, even if we don't know what it is, we'll at least know what it's not. So get that done and then see what the next step is. Well, stress test is Wednesday. So then we'll knock those 2 things out and see what the next thing is. So, all right, I'm going to eat and I have to be NPO in the morning. You have to be NPO or nothing by mouth for 6 hours before the test. If it's at 8:30, 7:30, 6:30, 5:30, 4:30, 3:30, 2:30, I ain't going to wake up in the middle of the night and eat something. So that's why I went ahead and had the eggs with this pork, and I'm okay with being high calorie this evening because it's going to have to extend my breakfast in the morning. No coffee in the morning. I'm going to be a old grouchy bug tomorrow. That's for sure. But anyway, so, yeah. But I'll tell you about everything after it's all done and all that good stuff. So, all right. I'll see you in the next video. You'll know more then. Bye. Here's my macros for the day. Definitely a lot of calories and a lot of fat. Bye.